What's going on? What's going on? It is your boy Gaddis TV. We are now live and direct, episode 18 of the Thug Bears podcast. I am your host, Gaddis TV. Thank you very much for coming in, tuning in, and let's get to the mix. What's going on, y'all? We are now live. I was just saying who we are with. We have Prickly Platoons. Now, if you're not already, go ahead and hit them a follow on Twitter at Prickly Platoons, and take a look at the Discord. Hop in there as well. And without further ado, Da Vinci, if you don't mind, really one, let us know who you are. Kind of, I guess, let us know what you did before crypto and what got you into the space of NFTs.
Oh, hi, awesome. So good morning, everyone. It's about 6:45 a.m. in India currently,
Thank you for
and
coming on then so early. Thank you.
yeah, and so speaking about myself, I am an architect trained further as an urban geographer and social anthropologist. I have been teaching architecture and urban geography for some about 10 years now. And this project comes out from my experience as well as observations of the world and the way it has been panning out over the last few decades. And and so the whole story revolves around my research. It revolves around the kind of art background that I had from my fairly childhood days. And so I this team of one developer who is based out of Bangalore, one UX UI designer who is my wife, and a research person, research as well as sort of a outreach and community building person. He is my student. So this is the kind of team configuration that we are working with. uh, we all of us sort of got into the crypto space a good 10 12 months back. We saw the big dip of the month of May as well,
Yeah.
but still we sort of had diamond hands. We kind of held on to all our currencies, and we kind of had that belief that this is going to pass off, and there are better times to come. We had a
Good
firm
job.
belief on yeah, we had this firm belief on the crypto space, Web 3.0, and how and what are the possibilities that it comes along with. Along with that, there were all these speculations about the energy concerns connected to Bitcoin, the gas fee concerns connected to Ethereum, and that's when we sort of started looking at Solana and the way it kind of bumped with the first big NFT project after the Solana Monkey business, that was the DGen Ape Academy, and how kind of things started changing from there on.
Mm-hmm.
And we sort of zoomed into this idea that we will get onto the Solana blockchain. Very luckily, Candy Machine gives our developer that option as well to sort of bypass Rust to begin the whole process of coding and putting things on the blockchain, and kind of gradually develop his Rust skills as well as kind of we get deeper into the overall Prickly Pete's Platoon ecosystem. I will brief about that as well. So we started looking as art as a fundraiser. I had this environmental concern, and in fact, somehow we all resonated with that idea, and we wanted to use art as a fundraiser. Hence, we have not talked about a certain figure that goes into environmental charities. It's a constant amount of 20% that keeps on accruing in a separate wallet out of our royalties, that will constantly keep on going out to environmental foundations and organizations who are working specifically with forest degradation, clean water initiatives, and waste management in developing societies across the world. So these are three primary burning issues connected to the environment, of various range and various levels within the developing societies and the developing world, global south. So that's what we are primarily planning to support, assist. through this particular project. So that's a brief of how we began with that. Uh, yeah, yeah.
No, I like it. So with the team in my apologies, I was looking at some of the pictures as well because I like the artwork. It's in detail and everything as well. It sounded like the 4 to 5 people. Would I'm just like
It's a
who?
four it's a four people team. I am the only artist who has developed all of that you are seeing on our
Okay,
Twitter or our website.
nice. Yeah, and I do have that one up as well. With honestly, the first thing I guess I'll ask because it's one of those first things that everyone's minting all these times. Is always sold this, sold that. Certain amounts. Is that right? Is it a zero soul? For the mint, and then I guess when do you know if you have like a mint time when it would be? Um, I guess why zero soul?
Okay, there are two, three aspects to that. Let me get on one of them to begin with. That why we are going for a democratic free mint, and what do we mean with that? So the first thing is there is a huge ruckus and a certain sort of a saturation that we are feeling has started emerging in the Solana NFT space as well, and that's primarily one reason why very uh, well uh, well worked out projects are not able to make the cut. In the last week, we have seen a few of them, which we also have personally liked. We have kind of followed those projects closely, but unfortunately, things kind of went the other way around. So in that kind of a situation, plus also the flux in the Solana price, which has been ramping up probably because of all speculations connected to the Lisbon conference. In
Mm-hmm.
this sort of a condition, climatic condition, I might say, how does one fix on a particular price for the work? Because when I see our tokens, it's far more detailed as opposed to many other projects. But then somebody says that it's not only about the artwork, it's also about the utility of the tokens. Then we suddenly see very simple projects with a longer utility to that, kind of making a better deal out of things. In that sort of a state, we were just debating among the four of us that what's going to be the perfect price for our tokens. Then finally I said, why don't we put it out for free and let the people, let the community decide a fair price for our artwork, for our project at large. And then what we decided that we will do a 50-50 sort of a thing. So 50% of our total supply, we reduce the supply also to a huge extent. We are only coming up with 3,000 artworks, unique, which is based out of 120 20 traits, which is phenomenally high as opposed to many other projects. I am removing the backgrounds from that equation. If I add the range of backgrounds that we have for each of the artworks, it would be somewhere around 140 traits for just 3,000 pieces. So which kind of develops a huge uniqueness to the
Yep.
overall reality system, and of course a lot of work put in from our end as well. So with that sort of a detailed thing, let the community decide what should be a fair price for what we are offering. And once we come up with the free mint, we will give it a cooling period of about 2 weeks, 10 days to about 2 weeks, about a fortnight. And based on the receptivity on the secondary marketplaces, we will assess an average out of it. We will assess a fair price for what should be or where should be our remaining 50% be priced. And on that basis, we will sell off or we will mint the second half. So that's the idea of a democratic free mint, because we also wanted to, we were planning to go with a fair launch process that TowerDAO did a while back. But there were also problems that there were about 60,000 bids. Many people whom I know of, even members from my team, we could not go for a successful bidding, and the bidding price was deducted from our wallets. So these
Yeah.
kind of systems, we did not want to go on with that. So we went all in with a free mint for the first half. We have announced that we would be charging a higher creators fee from this first half of the free of the overall supply. That's about 1,500 artworks. So if the community likes our work and it starts getting into circulation, they start trading it, then they would be rewarding us with a creator's fee, as opposed to paying it upfront and then sort of looking at the floor price constantly, which has happened with the Goblin Lab case. Sorry, I'm naming projects I
Yeah,
don't
you
want
good?
to,
That's
but
okay. No problem, man.
yeah, but kind of minting at 3 Solana price when Solana is like 15 and a half, 16,000 INR. It's about 200 $205 in that sense. Uh, and then kind of looking at floor prices every day going down. It was, I think, at 1.8 for Solana yesterday. How do you assess the value of a project like that? Because I have backed Goblin like anything. It was a very good artwork project. Me being an artist, I have full respect for Gossip Goblin. We have tried reaching him out as well for kind of possible collabs in our project as well, considering that we are also a detailed art based NFT series. Uh, but it really breaks our heart that how things are panning out in this space. So for that reason, we wanted to provide the artwork for a zero sol to everyone. So there is no loss in that sense. You have it, and then you take a call that what should be its value for transactability. So yeah, that's the larger idea behind it.
No, I like it on that. How long does honestly does it like take? Because like this, they are like in detail a lot. You know, I was when you were talking, I was playing one of the kind of videos and it was fast forward and it was like 48 minutes, 48 seconds. Um, honestly, I mean, how long does like one of those just take? Because I mean, you're the artist. I mean, is it
Hmm.
how long does it take realistically?
Yeah, we are working with 8 traits, of which again one of them is the background, which is beyond the 120 traits which I talked about. So about 7 traits in that sense. The smaller ones, which is majorly the mouth and the accessories, normally takes me about half an hour to draw them, detail them out. So
Nice.
starting from a sketch of them and then kind of rendering it, doing shade work, highlighting, and stuff like that. Uh, to an extent where the body types took me about 3.5 hours each. So there are about 19 body types that we are working with. So yeah, so that's the kind of range. Even the weapon arm took a lot of time to draw because they are larger elements in the overall artwork. I am not including the research time into this because there is a very detailed idea behind the traits that we have used.
Mhm.
So, if I just get a chance to talk about that,
Yeah.
we have taken the cactus. If you would have figured that out already, we have taken a cactus as our emblem, which sort of kind of talks about sustainability, resilience, resistance, and an exemplary, very low on resource sort of a life on Earth. So we have used that in a sort of a dystopic world where most other forms of life on Earth has ended. Humans have fled to other planets, and the cactuses have been uprooted from their desert or kind of harsh locations to various urban conditions. That's when they see all the trash that the humans have discarded and left on the planet, and they start mutating themselves with those. So there is a lot of
Mm.
everyday objects that we have used. So we have used a kitchen utensil as one of the headgears. We have used junk electrical wires and batteries as one of the headgears. We have used crushed cans and coir ropes or kind of cotton ropes as one of the headgears. So in that sense, we have used a lot of these products. We have used a vacuum cleaner as a weapon. Who thought about that? We have used a drill machine as a weapon. So the idea is to also celebrate the everyday objects and the materials that surround us, as well as shape our identities, though we do not acknowledge it in that manner. Like for example, the cap you are wearing, I have seen quite a few podcasts to prepare myself for this one, and I have seen you wearing this in kind I think all of them, but so this is what shapes you. So a very simple mere everyday object like a black cap shapes who you are, what is your identity. But we tend to miss out on kind of giving proper acknowledgement to these things, and there are many such examples. There are many things, including stuff in my life which I do not acknowledge in a proper manner. So this project is also a celebration of that everyday life. So when these cacti in I might say cacti groups, which we call as cactoons, when these cactoons sort of mutate themselves with these everyday objects, they become powerful creatures. They start surviving for a longer time on the planet, much low on resource. They start fighting with each other till a point where there are extraplanetary teams coming in to capture them and use them for their own sustenance. That's when they sort of rise up in battle and starts fighting for the revival of the earth, kind of holds the last door to an utter doom of the planet. So that's the lore which also unfolds with each of the NFT series. So as of now in our roadmap, we have about 5 NFT series planned within the Prickly Pete Platoon ecosystem. Other than that, we have a comic book which is in preparation. We have the lore which is gradually getting converted into the comic book. We have a board game. So that is also something that we want to kind of revive back. So people have moved to the metaverse. People have moved to the online formats to a huge extent, increased screen time and stuff. We want to kind of revive back the traditional practices of board games, kind of indoor activities with kids and the family, sort of a bonding happening, learning happening out of that board game. So that's also something that we are working towards. So yeah, so that's how most of these traits have been decided. Most of the artwork has been finalized in that sense.
No, I like it, man. It's a lot of like thought that went into it, and actually, like you said, like detail. Like, with at first just looking at the cacti or
Yeah.
yeah, I guess cacti. One, I'm not an artist, but my uncle, my cousin's pretty good at it, and like I know stuff like that takes time, so that I appreciate. But I also appreciate like you said the story behind it, where you've thought of like the wires, the trash, even when you were saying the stuff like the cacti, cactus, they don't need like much. Like you said, they're always around. I don't know. I appreciate the story behind it. Honestly, it seems like because it you put thought into it. It wasn't just making something, which I know a lot of projects don't do that. But at the same time, I feel like I could appreciate just the effort you're putting into it because it's wholesome. You know what I mean? It's truly wholesome project. It seems like actually. That's honestly cool. With
Yeah. Thank.
definitely with the yeah, he had to go on that one. With the actually with the I almost said the cartoon, the comic. Is that like a for sure thing that y'all gonna have, or when I guess when can people think or expect something like that?
No, so if you look at our website, the artwork that you see over there, which is sort of a black and red sort of artworks of various
Mm-hmm.
environments at that particular time, is a sneak peek into the art quality of the comic book. So we
Nice.
are going to stick to that. We are going to introduce our characters in it and kind of develop it further. So it's not aspirational, I would say, for sure.
Definitely.
We have started work, and that's the reason why it's showcased on our website also in a certain manner. But currently, we plan to have a smooth sail with the first 3,000 artworks. We want people to sort of engage with them, sort of use them as their own identities, posting it at various places, using it as profile pictures if at all. So that's what our primary focus of work currently. But there are multiple community engagement things that will also emerge in the future. Like for example, there out of the five NFT series that I talked about, there is one which is only going to be open for those who will have one of the OG cartoons that we are minting in the first phase. So in that way, we are totally up for the community. It's not about kind of engaging more and more constantly as we go ahead. We want to keep the project small, but we want to deliver as much quality as possible connected to whatever we are promising.
No, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Question, because I was thinking about it as well with the, and I know it's to be announced, everything like that, but with the comics and everything, is it gonna be like I don't know if it's like an NFT type comic? Is it gonna be like an online things like that, or you're trying to have it? I guess kind of like a board game where it's a tangible like comment that you get if you're minted. I guess how would that I guess play out if you can mention on that.
Yeah. So for the board game, for sure, it's going to be a physical thing, and we would be kind of making it available globally for people to buy and engage.
Nice.
Uh, for the comic book, we are still debating that whether it's going to be a totally online thing or whether we will do a sort of a hybrid module to that. Also engage augmented reality in it and try to make it more engaging and a learning experience for a lot of kids out there. So we are kind of debating that on our end, but yeah, I guess we have our own merchandise also planned, which is not going to be a regular merchandise like a t-shirt or a cap. We are going to fund organizations who are working with adaptive reuse of material. So,
Nice.
so best out of waste practices. So, like for example, there are many parts and many artists in the developing world who are developing wallets or like purses using rubber tires and rubber tubes. So we are planning for a sort of a very slick merchandise on that end. It's not going to be a generic t-shirt, hoodie, cap sort of a thing. These are the sort of things that we are planning to fund as well as raise as our own brand merchandise. So for that reason, quite a few of these things would be analog or kind of will be available physically. So we might for sure begin the comic book as a regular periodical of an online circulation, but gradually the plan would be to publish them, kind of keep them as collectibles as well. So yeah, that's the bigger game behind that.
No, I mean that'd be honestly pretty cool because of course everyone like tangible things stuff like that, but honestly like when I was looking at the artwork and everything, I was thinking to myself that that would actually be really cool if it was. It had like you said, like the comic, not comic feel in the essence of the artwork because that is fresh, but like I could see it as a really cool, honestly, like comic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that part I do really like, and I truly do like the actual little the meaning behind it. You know what I mean? Because one thing I always tell people, even I know in real life, like the little things make the big picture, and the little things in there make up the cactus. And you know what I mean? Doesn't matter if it's like like you said, the trash, the cans, the recycling stuff like that. And I do like how you gear everything towards the project. You know, I mean, even like you just said, in March when you trying to
Yeah.
have it out there, having it with the
Yes.
recycling things, stuff like that, because um,
Even for that matter, if we are also going ahead with a physical board game as well as a physical comic book, there are communities, at least which I know of in India, who work with vegetable colors, who work with
nice.
recycled papers. So we plan to engage them. We plan to show the world and kind of showcase those traditional practices, which are very low on their carbon footprint. So the idea is to sort of bring these practices, bring these traditional ideas of a very strong, sustainable world to the fore and kind of talk about them in public, show the world that yes, these things are possible. You need not be very heavy on carbon footprint in order to develop something unique, develop something interesting, develop something catchy. So that's also the idea. So with the merchandise as well as the all the material that would be needed for the production of the board game, as well as the comic book. So that's the ethos which we are planning to follow. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, yo, you're good. You're
Yeah.
good. I mean, I love hearing this stuff like this. Another question, because kind of get my notes. We're trying to keep it around the 30-ish minute mark, even though we were a little late on our end, so my bad on that. Um,
No,
the some of the stuff that I've asked a lot of the I guess projects. What were some of the honestly like hiccups y'all have had, if you've had any? When we first started, and one, I guess, was it hard to get your wife into it? Because I know a lot of times I've heard asking cousins, brothers, sisters. Um, was it hard to want to get the wife in there, and then two, um, I guess like yeah, how hard was it? Because was it
that's
easy
such a
hard?
that's such a brilliant question you have placed over for me. I'm totally bowled out because of that. Yeah, so it is always difficult to work with my wife on that front. So yeah, but she kind of gave into the idea of the project at a very
Nice.
early stage. She is a product designer, and there is a huge scope for her as well in the future when it comes to the board game, when it comes to all the products, when it comes to the physical comic book that might emerge in the future. Plus, she is currently working as a UX UI designer. So the website that you are seeing is what she has created. So and there are multiple kind of layers to the website also that she is currently working with, which will go public as and when we start launching each of the phases of our project. So,
Nice.
so yeah, in that sense, she has contributed immensely to the project already. But yeah, it's always difficult working around the two of us. So she finds it difficult working with me. I do the same with her. Yeah, it always happens.
I mean, it
Talking,
might be difficult from y'all's and from the outside perspective. I mean, it looks like y'all got some good stuff going on. So one, props
yeah,
to her and you. You know what I mean, and your whole team.
yeah,
Actually, your whole team on
yeah.
that one. Um,
Yes. And talking about other hiccups, I think the biggest one was what should be our optimum supply in this case.
hmm
So whether we would be kind of, because uh, initially, if I talk about the master plan that I had, initially we were planning for a three-stage 12,000 supply of the cartoons.
Gotcha.
It would be in three different stages.
Okay.
But then we thought that if we increase the supply, we are going to bring the value of our first 3,000 pieces extremely down. And that's where
Yeah.
we had a major hiccup because the master plan was changing at that point. So that was one. Then, but we finally decided that okay, so we will not do a 12,000 thing. We will do a 3,000, and then we will innovate with the other ideas into multiple different stages in the overall ecosystem of the platoon project. So that was one which we kind of began with, and we very quickly we came to a resolution to that. The second hiccup was, of course, the pricing. So I was of a firm belief that I should not be putting this out for a minting anywhere less than a 2 Solana sort of a price. But then somebody said that look at the other projects, man. They are unable to kind of sell stuff off even at a 0.75 Solana sort of a thing. How do you think that the market is going to afford such a work? Then I would say that, but look at Goblin Labs. They have done it for a 3 Solana thing, and that too with a supply of 11,000 brains. So that was again one big hiccup that we kind of came up with, and then finally we decided, and again the resolution was to go with a free mint, get people to choose and vote for what should be a fair price. So totally up for the community. So that was the other. If I try to remember anything else, I think the artwork. This was the eighth iteration. that
Really?
you are
8 of them?
seeing in front of you.
Okay.
8. So the process was very elaborate when we were developing the artwork. I think there were 8 iterations that I did. I think I did 6. Two of them were, one was by the research person, and one I think was by my wife. She was also looking into vectorish ideas for the character. But yeah, so 8 iterations. This is the 8th iteration. So seven were failed attempts. So that was also one hiccup, and we spent about 1.5 months doing that. So if you look into our Twitter, there are many other process images which we have posted earlier, and
Let's
those
pull them up.
are sort of sneak peeks out of all those attempts that we sort of failed to begin with. And when we show them to people today, they say that, oh, these look equally cool, but then we were just chucking them off. No, this is not cool. This is not coming out well. This does not work, and things like that. So
What
that was, I think, another hiccup to begin with. Yeah, yeah.
what made y'all I guess pick the final design? Was it something the whole team I'm assuming that the whole team enjoyed, or what was that it factor for y'all for the final one?
Yeah, I think so. I think something clicked. I think what happened was, I for the first time on the eighth go, I did a full sort of a rendering of one artwork. So I began sketching it, then inked it, then rendered it, then did all the shade work and all. And that's when it clicked to everyone that yes, this is exactly what we were imagining in our mind when we're talking about this cactus, when we're talking about an amalgam with the everyday objects, when we were talking about a warrior, also kind of a series emerging out of this. That's when things clicked for everyone, and yeah, I think that was the turning point. We kind of went
And found
moved with
no,
that
again, I
direction.
mean, I like the artwork. I mean, it looks honestly, it's cool. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on it as well because again, other than when we all head up to the podcast again because this isn't the full time job podcasting up here. I'm over here working and I miss feel like everything on Twitter and Discords and everything. So
Yes.
I was excited one when y'all hit up us up on the Twitter, then two just looking at it and one liking the artwork and two knowing like the story behind it and knowing basically what you did behind not behind the scenes but before this it literally all ties together, which is honestly it's a great story to a project. You know what I mean? And that's honestly I appreciate that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
who am I to say that?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think a lot of people do appreciate it on that.
Yeah, I think we are getting good support from the community now. We have reached out to a lot of people. Very interestingly, we did quite a few custom pieces. One of them was for Anatoly, and
Nice,
he immediately retweeted it back, and
nice. How
and
was that
that
feeling?
that that awesome. That was, I think, one of the big boosts that we received, and I think within 2 hours, there was an additional 50-60 followers on our Twitter, and
Nice.
we started receiving messages also on Discord that Anatoly has sent me in that way.
Everything.
It was like Anatoly has directed that person to join our Discord in that way. But that really felt good that somebody of that stature working for such a big project took out time to retweet our work, appreciate it. So yeah, in that way we have received good help. We have not from quite a few people also whom we were expecting to, but yeah, that always keeps on happening. Who knows? We might get retweeted tomorrow,
You
or
know what I
we
mean?
might
They're
get a
listening.
shout out from them tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they might be listening to the podcast. They might be liking the overall idea of how we are panning out things, how we are connecting all the dots together to the larger master plan of the idea. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Fingers crossed.
You know what I mean? And then even if it's not one of those, right aways, like some of the goal, of the podcast is least so people know and hear and have a chance to hear back. You know what I mean? So even if
Absolutely.
it's one of those, hey, and this goes to any of the projects that have been on here. It would be of course cool to see all of them
Yeah,
go big, huge, everything like that. But it's also be cool to see you know a project here, maybe not go super ham. You know what I mean? And then two
yeah.
3 months down the road, it get that traction. You know what I mean? Because
Yes, yes,
I mean,
yes.
I've been in the
Plus,
Discord stuff like that when people always say, "Hey, they want to hear this stuff," and it's not out for people to hear. And I mean, I appreciate you
absolutely.
coming in on it.
I think I have spoken about the project, not that in detail the way I could today, in I think four spaces earlier, Twitter spaces earlier. So, but there are a lot of people. There is no dedicated time that you are speaking with. We did a collab with Skull Division.
Nice.
Dali Commerce is one of the supporters from a very early stage. He liked our work. He wanted us to do a collab with them. We did a dedicated art piece, kind of sort of doing a throwback, a shout out to 8 OG projects, Orori, DJ Nates, the Pesky Penguins, Tugbirds, SMB, and all. So, one of that was one of the successful spaces that where I could dedicatedly talk about the project, and then this one where uh, there are no holds barred. You are asking questions which are very relevant to how we are planning out things, how we are kind of connecting all the dots. So lovely being here. Yeah,
I appreciated that one. I mean, we're
yeah,
basically, I mean, we're over the 30-minute mark, which that I don't have a problem on, but again, I don't want to hold you hostage, nothing like that. You know what I mean? And I know it's early in the morning, so if I was you, I would be looking at it like 3 cups of coffee right now, just because personally, I'm not a morning person, so hopefully you are. Sorry for
I
getting
am
you up
I
late.
am I am I am also not. I am also not.
Oh gosh.
But I just did not want to miss this opportunity of speaking with you and the overall Thugbird community at large. So yeah, I had an alarm on. I asked my mom to wake me up
Everything like
and did a lot of prep. Yes, I am not gonna miss this.
no, I appreciate it. Well, man, is there anything that I guess I've missed? Anything you want to know, or I guess not know, but tell the community, anyone listening? Anything I guess I've missed on a question that you truly excited about, and I want the community to know.
Yeah, only one thing that we are doing a stealth launch for the free mint. So that's the only price that we are expecting from all our community members. That you need to be sticking around on Discord, be kind of be there always, keep on chattering, and be on the lookout for any announcement connected to the mint drop. So for that reason, it's going to be a stealth launch. It will be announced first in our Discord channel, and then gradually after some time on our Twitter. So if we sell out within that gradually after some time sort of a thing, then you are going to miss it. So for all our audience, I would request everybody to join our Discord. Kind of stay tuned over there. Announcement regarding the free launch is going to happen real soon. So we had the earlier launch date to be on the 2nd of November, which we have shifted in order to build our community, make it stronger. So for that reason, we have shifted that, and we have not disclosed a specific date anymore. So there would be a
Nice.
specific date for the priced mint later on, but that would come much later, at least a week after the stealth launch. So yeah, so stealth launch is an important aspect of the free mint. So watch out, guys.
Awesome, awesome. And then, so basically, Discord is the best play to stay in tune with everything, not just exactly the launch, but Discord is the place to go. Then, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And if you're
So that's
listening,
that's where, yeah. So we are running quite a few contests also over there, which are
nice,
also going to unveil themselves in a very different manner in our first collection of 3,000 pieces also. So we are actually going to allow our community to design a few of the 3,000 artworks. So in
nice.
that way, it's a very long game when it comes to our community engagement as well. So all that can happen, and connected to that would be whitelist positions for the pre-sales of the priced mint. We are not doing any giveaways or any pre-sale for the free mint. It's a fair ground in that sense. Only criterion would be to join our Discord and stay tuned for all announcements. Other than that, there are no freebies connected to the free mint. It should be as fair as possible. All the giveaways, airdrops, or whitelisting is happening currently for the priced mint, which would be about 10 days to a fortnight after the free mint launch. So and in that process, we are also trying to engage community in the preparation of the 3000 artworks as well. So for that reason, yeah, we are trying to keep it as interesting as possible. There are other contests also running. So there is a draw one of the characters contest. There is a rendering contest. Develop the lore along with me contest. So all those things are currently happening as we speak on our Discord. So
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. On
yeah,
that note, but listen, if you're listening right now, again, go to at Prickly Platoons on Twitter. The Discord is on their main page on the Twitter, and stay active in there. You gotta stay, I guess, in the loop. I would say have notifications on because as you heard, it's gonna be the stealth mint, and you better stay tuned, so you won't miss that one. But yes, sir. On that note, I want to thank Prickly Platoons again for coming out here. Thank you for waking up and I guess getting out of the comfort zone and waking up because I would have hated it. But once again, everyone who's coming out here listening, thank y'all. I guess go ahead and hit the follow on the Thugbirds YouTube as well, Twitch, Twitter, and after this, if you're listening on Spotify and Audius, thank you as well. Till next time. Da Vinci, you can stay there for a quick second. I'm going to go mute, and I'm going to go in and end it. But thank you once again, everyone. Till next time, stay fresh, stay clean, stay positive. Once again, thank you for the love, and stay fresh, everyone.